My name's Jack Tanner, and last summer, I hit a wall I didn't even know was there. It was July 14th, 2024, a sticky Saturday night at this fancy joint called the Oak Room. The bill landed in front of me, $1.80 for a table of 11. My sister Lisa had ordered the prime rib like she was a queen, snapping at the waiter while her new fiancé droned on about craft beer. My old man, Hank, was halfway through his third whiskey, and Mom had her little yapping mutt tucked in a purse that cost more than my rent. Me? I was the guy footing the bill, as always. The host, the wallet, the chump. It started when Uncle Ray, chewing on a cigar he didn't light, leaned back and said, "Jack don't care about paying. He's got no one else to spend it on, loaded and lonesome." The table went dead quiet. Lisa smirked, then covered it with her napkin. Mom looked at me like she might say something, but she didn't. Dad just swirled his glass, eyes on the ice. Nobody spoke up. Not Lisa, who texts me every time her credit card maxes out. Not Mom, who calls me her boy who works too hard to find a girl. Not Dad, who hasn't shaken my hand since I was a kid. Just silence, heavy and hot, like a slap I couldn't dodge. "Excuse me," I said, voice steady even though my gut was twisting. Ray shrugged. "What else you gonna do with all that cash, huh? No wife, no rugrats. Might as well treat us folks who got lives." I felt the heat climb up my neck, slow and mean. I looked around, 10 pairs of eyes, not one meeting mine. "Fair enough," I said, sliding my chair back. "Where you headed?" Mom asked, her brow all scrunched up. "Restroom," I lied. "Be right back." I didn't go to the restroom. I walked past the hostess stand, past the valet guy twirling his keys, right to my truck. No hesitation. I fired up the engine. No radio. No nothing. Just the hum of the V8 and Uncle Ray's words looping in my skull, loaded and lonesome. I drove past my apartment, past the neon glow of downtown Boise, and straight to the airport. No suitcase, no plan, just a fire in my chest telling me I was done. See, it wasn't always like this. For years back, I was nobody to them. I ran a little landscaping gig, mowing lawns, trimming hedges, hauling mulch. Decent work, but it didn't make me a blip on their radar. Thanksgiving 2020, I showed up at Dad's place with a six-pack and a pecan pie. Walked in, said hey, and got nothing back. No one saved me a chair. I ate cold turkey leaning against the counter while they yucked it up in the dining room. Lisa cracked some line about me smelling like grass clippings. Uncle Ray laughed. Dad grinned. Mom said, "Oh, she's just teasing, Jackie." I left before dessert. Nobody cared. Then everything flipped. Spring 2021, I sold a dumb app I'd messed around with, yard scheduling thing for small businesses. Went for $27 million. Didn't even have to brag. Word got out fast. Money's got a loudspeaker. First call was Mom. "Jackie, we always knew you'd make it big. We were just talking about you." Bull. I hadn't heard from her since Christmas. Then Lisa. "Hey, bro, I've got this photography side hustle. Could use a little startup cash, maybe $4,000? I sent $8,000. She posted some artsy shot the next day. "Family's the best support system, no mention of me." Dad hit me up a week later. "House payments tight, son. Man to man, can you help?" I wired it. That was the start. After that, they didn't even fake it. Lisa'd call, "Car's busted," or "Need a quick vaki after a breakup." Uncle Ray wanted investment advice that always ended with me cutting a check. Mom sobbed about missing her high school reunion in Vegas, sent the money, saw her Instagram poolside 2 days later. And me? I kept paying, thinking maybe, just maybe, if I gave enough, they'd give a damn back. That night at the Oak Room, though, something snapped. I didn't just leave the table, I left the whole game. Parked at Boise Airport, I stared at the terminal lights, hands gripping the wheel. I wasn't mad at them anymore. I was mad at me. For years, I'd let it fester, the sickness of buying their smiles. It started when the money rolled in, but it rooted deeper back when I was the invisible kid they forgot to care about. Now I saw it plain. They weren't my family. They were my leeches. And I was done bleeding. I didn't fly out that night. Didn't need to. I turned the truck around, headed home, and sat in the dark. One truth hit me hard. I'd been a fool, but I didn't have to stay one. Tomorrow, they'd figure that out. "I think you meant carry on with the first chapter, but since I've already delivered chapter 1, I'll assume you're asking me to keep going with the story and move to chapter 2. If I got that wrong, just holler, and I'll adjust. Here's chapter 2, picking up where Jack Tanner left off, same style, first person, simple American voice, over 3,000 characters, built for AI voiceover. Let's roll." Chapter 2, the morning after the wake-up. I woke up Sunday morning with a headache that wasn't from drinking. It was from thinking too much, too hard, all night long. My apartment was quiet, just the hum of the fridge and the faint buzz of traffic outside. No texts, no calls, no "Where'd you go, Jack?" from anybody. That was fine. I didn't expect them to chase me. They'd probably figured I'd cool off, come back, and pick up the tab like always. Not this time. I made coffee, black, no frills, in a chipped mug I'd had since college. Sat on my couch, still in yesterday's shirt, staring at the wall. That's when it hit me. I wasn't just done with last night. I was done with the whole damn play. See, I've been acting a part for years, good ol' Jack, the cash machine with a grin. Started when that app money landed, but the roots went deeper. Back to when I was a skinny kid with dirt under my nails, watching my family laugh around a table I wasn't invited to sit at. I grabbed my phone, scrolled through the group chat they'd added me to after I got rich. Dinner at the Oak Room, Jack's treat. Lisa had typed that one. No question mark. No, you cool with that? Just the assumption. I kept scrolling Christmas plans I paid for. A surprise party for Dad's 60th I bankrolled. Lisa's engagement dinner I covered down to the damn cake. Hundreds of messages, all the same tune. Jack'll handle it. I tossed the phone on the cushion. Enough of that noise. By noon, I was showered, in fresh jeans and a flannel, pacing my place like a caged bear. I didn't know what to do next, but I knew I wasn't going back. Then the phone buzzed. Lisa. Hey, you okay? You bailed last night, Mom's freaking out. Also, can you send $200? Josh's truck needs a tire. Josh was her fiancé, some loudmouth who called me buddy, like we were pals. I stared at the screen, thumbs hovering. Old Jack would have replied, sure, sis, and Venmo'd it before the coffee cooled. New Jack didn't. I typed back. I'm fine. Truck's on you. Sent it. Turned the phone off. Felt like I just dropped a boulder off my back. First time I'd said no in years, and the sky didn't fall. Go figure. Around 2 o'clock, I drove out to this spot I used to go before the money, Hull's Gulch, a scrubby trail north of town. Nothing fancy, just dirt and sagebrush and a view of the foothills. I hiked up, boots kicking dust, letting the quiet sink in. Back in the day, I'd come here to think about the business, about getting out of the hole I was in. Never thought I'd be here again, sorting out how to get out of a different kind of hole when I dug with my own wallet. I sat on a rock, sun beating down, and replayed last night. Uncle Ray's smug grin. Lisa's snap at the waiter. Mom's mutt yipping while she sipped her wine. Dad's silence, always the loudest thing in the room. They hadn't always been like this, had they? Or maybe I just hadn't seen it. Before the cash, I was a ghost to them. After, I was a bank. Either way, I wasn't a person. Not to them. I remember this one time, maybe 5 years back. 4th of July at Uncle Ray's place. I brought burgers and a case of course, showed up sweaty from a job. Nobody said hi. Lisa was on her phone, Dad was grilling, Mom was fussing over the dog. I stood there like a stranger, eating a hot dog by the garage while they played horseshoes without me. Left early, told myself it was fine. It wasn't fine. I just didn't know how to say it then. Now I did. The money changed everything, but not how I thought. First call after the sale was Mom. Jackie, we're so proud. Always knew you'd do big things. Hadn't talked to her in months before that. Lisa hit me up next. Bro, I'm starting a makeup thing. Need like $3,000 to get going. Gave her $6,000. She bought a new purse instead, posted it with a blessed caption. No nod to me. Dad called a week later. Rough patch, son. Can you spot me $10,000? Sent it. Never saw a thank you. That was the pattern. They didn't love me. They loved what I gave. And I kept giving, thinking it'd fill that hole, the one from all those years of being nobody to them. Last night, Uncle Ray just said it out loud. Loaded and lonesome. He wasn't wrong about the first part. The second? That was on me. I'd let them make me that way. I hiked back down, truck keys jangling in my pocket. Sun was dipping low, painting the hills orange. I wasn't mad anymore, not at them, not at me. I was clear. They'd keep taking as long as I kept offering. So I wouldn't offer. Simple as that. When I got home, I fired up my laptop, pulled up every bank statement, every Venmo, every quick favor I'd paid since 2021. Hours later, I had a list, $187,000 over 3 years. Lisa got the most, cars, trips, emergencies. Uncle Ray was next, taxes, boat repairs, you name it. Mom and Dad trailed with house stuff, vacations, random crap. I printed it out, 3 pages of black and white truth. Didn't know what I'd do with it yet, but it felt good to see it. Real. That night, I slept hard. No dreams, no buzzing phone. Just quiet. Monday'd be different. They'd notice I wasn't playing ball. I'd be ready. Monday morning hit like a freight train, but I was ready. Woke up at 6 o'clock, sky still gray over Boise, brewed my coffee, and sat with that list, $187,000 worth of proof I'd been a doormat. My phone stayed quiet till about 9:30. Then it started. Lisa first, a text. Jack, seriously, $200 for Josh's tire? You're ghosting me now? Call me. I didn't. Mom next, a voicemail. Jackie, honey, we're worried sick. You ran off Saturday, what's going on? Ring me back. Didn't do that either. Uncle Ray didn't bother, just sent a Venmo request for $500, labeled golf dues. I laughed out loud at that one. Ballsy. By noon, I knew they'd figure it out. I wasn't budging. I drove to the Oak Room, not to eat, but to settle up. Waiter from Saturday recognized me, gave a nod. Left kinda quick the other night, he said, handing me the receipt. $1,180, unpaid. Yeah, I said, sliding my card. Won't happen again. He rang it up, no questions. I tipped him $50. Guy deserved it for dealing with Lisa's finger snapping. That was the last bill I'd cover for them, I told myself. Done and dusted. Back home, I started digging deeper. Pulled up old texts, emails, voicemails. Years of Jack, can you? And Jack, I hate to ask, but Lisa's were the worst. half guilt trip, half tantrum. You're my big brother. You're supposed to help, she'd texted after I hesitated on her last loan. Moms were softer. All we just need a little boost, Jackie. Dad barely asked, just dropped hints till I caved. Uncle Ray? Straight up shameless. You're sitting on a pile, kid, spread it around. I saved it all, screenshots piling up on my desktop. Evidence, maybe. Ammo, definitely. Around 3 o'clock, the doorbell rang. I peeked out. Lisa, arms crossed, tapping her foot like I'd kept her waiting. Opened the door, didn't say a word. What the hell, Jack, she launched in. You ditched dinner, ignore my texts, stiff me on $200? Josh is pissed. He's stuck at work without a truck. I leaned on the frame, calm as could be. Sounds like Josh's problem, I said. Her eyes went wide. You're seriously doing this? After everything I've been through? You're rich, Jack. What's $200 to you? I stepped closer, voice low. It's not about the money, Lisa. It's about you thinking I'm your ATM. I'm done. She blinked, mouth open, then snapped it shut. You're unbelievable. Mom's right. You're turning into some selfish jerk. She spun around, stormed off. Door clicked shut behind her, and I felt nothing. No guilt, no second guessing. Just air. Phone lit up an hour later, Dad this time. Son, Lisa says you're acting funny. What's this about? Come over tonight, let's talk. I didn't go. Didn't reply. Instead, I grabbed that list and drove to a buddy's place. Pete, old high school pal, one of the few who never asked me for a dime. He's a mechanic now, lives in a double wide with his wife and kid. Found him in the garage, wrench in hand, grease on his shirt. Jack, you look like hell, he said, cracking a beer and handing me one. Family crap, I said, taking a swig. Told him everything. Saturday, the list, Lisa's blow up. Showed him the numbers. He whistled low. $187,000? Man, they've been bleeding you dry. I nodded. Yeah. And I let M. Pete leaned back, wiped his hands on a rag. So what's the plan? You gonna call him out? I stared at the bottle, label peeling in my grip. Thinking about it. Got all the receipts, every penny. Maybe I show up, lay it out, make him squirm. Pete grinned. That's my boy. Give him hell. They've had it coming. We sat there, sipping in the quiet, radio humming some country tune. Felt good, having one person in my corner who didn't see dollar signs when he looked at me. Next day, Tuesday, they tried again. Mom called twice, left a weepy message. Jackie, we're falling apart here. Dad's stressed, Lisa's a mess. Come fix this, please. Uncle Ray texted. Heard you're mad, kid. Let's grab a beer, smooth it over. Smooth it over with my money, he meant. I ignored them all. Went to Hull's Gulch instead, hiked till my legs burned. Up there, with the wind whistling through the brush, I decided. I'd face them, one last time. Not to fix anything, but to end it. Wednesday night, they'd set up dinner at Dad's place. Text came from Lisa. Family meeting, 7 o'clock. Be there. No, please, no Jack's treat. I'd go, but not how they expected. Printed out that list, 3 pages, stapled, stuffed it in my jacket. Threw in every screenshot I'd saved, a fat stack of their own words. Drove over, truck rumbling through the dusk. Parked out front, saw their cars lined up. Lisa's Jeep, Uncle Ray's Chevy, Mom's little hybrid with the dog hair all over the seats. Whole crew was there, waiting for the chump to walk in. I stepped inside, smelled pot roast and tension. Mom rushed over, arms out. Jackie, thank God. I sidestepped her hug. Sit down, I said, voice flat. They froze. Mom, Dad, Lisa, Uncle Ray, even Josh lounging on the couch. What's this about, son? Dad asked, squinting like I was a puzzle. I pulled the papers from my jacket, dropped them on the coffee table with a thud. This, I said, is 3 years of me paying for you people to pretend I matter. $187,000. Look at it. Lisa snatched the list, scanned it, face going red. You're keeping tabs on us? That's sick, Jack. Uncle Ray chuckled, but it was shaky. Kid's got a flair for drama. Mom teared up. Jackie, how could you? Dad just stared, jaw tight. I pointed at the stack. Every dinner, every loan, every sob story. Lisa, you burned $12,000 on that Vegas trip. Thank me by blocking my number for a month. Dad, you got $30,000 for the house. Never even asked how I was doing. Mom, you cried about Aunt Sue's funeral, then posted beach pics from Cali. Ray, you've got $25,000 of my cash in your boat. I'm done. Silence hit hard. Lisa threw the papers down. So what, you're cutting us off? You'll be alone, Jack. Nobody'll stick around. I met her eyes, steady. If you only stay when I pay, you're not worth keeping. Turn to the room. Split your own bills from now on. I'm out. Walked to the door, didn't look back. Heard Mom gasp, Lisa yell something, but I kept moving. Truck roared to life, and I was gone. That night, I sat on my couch, beer in hand, staring at the ceiling. Felt like I'd shed a skin I didn't know was choking me. They'd fight back, I knew it. But I'd drawn my line, and I wasn't crossing it again. Driving away from Dad's place Wednesday night, I felt lighter than I had in years. No yelling in my head, no knot in my gut, just the truck's rumble and a dark road ahead. I figured they'd stew for a bit, maybe call me a few names, then scrambled to pay their own way. I was wrong. By Thursday morning, the storm hit. Phone woke me up at 7 o'clock. Lisa, screaming through the speaker before I could say hello. You think you're some big shot now, Jack? Humiliating us like that? Josh says you're a coward. And he's right. I hung up mid-rant, let it go to voicemail. Next was Mom, sobbing. Jackie, how could you do this to us? We're your family. Uncle Ray left a gruff one. You're a punk, kid. Hope you're happy alone. Dad didn't call, just texted. You crossed the line, son. Fix this. Fix what? Their bank accounts? Nah, I was done fixing. By noon, they'd rallied. Lisa posted on Facebook. Public, of course. Some people get money and forget where they came from. Blood's thicker than water, but not to everyone. Tagged me, Mom, Dad, Ray, the whole crew. Comments piled up. Cousins I hadn't seen in years, old neighbors, even my high school shop teacher. Shame on you, Jack. Ungrateful. Family first, man. I didn't reply. Just screenshotted it. Added it to my pile of proof. Friday, the real blow landed. Got a call from a number I didn't know. Picked it up, heard a crisp voice. Mr. Tanner, this is Carl Hensley, attorney for your family. We're filing a claim against you. Breach of familial support, emotional distress, financial hardship. Seeking $1.8 million. You'll be served papers soon. I laughed, couldn't help it. They're suing me? For not paying their bills. Hensley didn't flinch. They allege you've caused irreparable harm by withdrawing aid you've provided for years. See you in court. Click. I sat there, coffee going cold, staring at the wall. $1.8 million. They'd lost their minds. But it fit. When guilt didn't work, they'd try force. I called Pete, told him everything. Suing you? He said, half laughing, half pissed. They're nuts, Jack. You got a lawyer. I didn't, but I'd need one. Pete hooked me up with his cousin, Tara, sharp gal, used to small-town disputes, not afraid of a fight. Met her that afternoon at a diner off I-84. She flipped through my stack, list, screenshots, voicemails. This is gold, she said, sipping her Coke. They've got no case, just greed. We'll bury him. Saturday, the papers came. Thick envelope, official as hell, delivered by some kid who looked scared to knock. Claim laid it out. I'd abandoned them, caused severe distress by cutting off expected support. Lisa claimed her mental health tanked without my cash. Mom said she couldn't afford her dog's meds. Dad wrote he'd lost community standing. Uncle Ray? Business losses from me not bailing him out. I handed it to Tara. They're delusional, I said. She grinned. And we'll prove it. Next week was a blur. Tara filed a counterclaim, harassment, emotional manipulation, unjust enrichment. We dug up more, bank records, texts, even a video Lisa sent me last year. Drunk, saying, "You're my golden goose, Jack. Don't ever fly away." She'd laugh if she knew I kept it. Pete and I met up every night, plotting over beers. They're digging their own grave, he said. I nodded. Long as I don't end up in it. Then came the twist. Sunday night, my phone buzzed, unknown number. Picked it up, heard a voice I hadn't in years. Sarah. My ex, the one who bailed 6 months before our wedding. Jack, it's me, she said, soft but steady. I saw Lisa's post. I know what's happening. Can we talk? I froze. Why now? She sighed. Because I owe you the truth. In person. I didn't want to, but something in her tone pulled me. Fine, I said. Tomorrow. Coffee at Denny's, 10 o'clock. She agreed. Met her Monday morning. She looked different, hair shorter, eyes harder. Sat down, no small talk. Your mom ran me off, she said flat out. I blinked. What? She nodded. Before I left you, she cornered me. Said I'd hold you back, ruin your dreams. Told me to go quietly, or she'd make it messy. I was young, scared, believed her. My jaw tightened. She erased you. Sarah looked down. Yeah. And when you sold that app, she called me, bragged about how she'd protected you. I didn't know what to say. I leaned back, pieces clicking. Mom didn't just want my money, she controlled my life to keep it flowing. Why tell me now? I asked. Sarah met my eyes. Because they're trying to ruin you. I can't stay quiet anymore. She handed me a folder, texts, emails, a recording of Mom's voice. Leave Jack, Sarah. He's better off. I took it, hand steady. Thanks, I said. She nodded. Kick their asses. That night, I gave Tara the folder. This changes everything, she said, eyes lighting up. We've got him dead to rights. I smiled, first real one in days. The fight was on, and I wasn't alone anymore. After Sarah dropped that bomb about Mom, I couldn't sit still. Tuesday morning, I was up before the sun, pacing my apartment with a coffee I didn't drink. That folder she gave me, texts, emails, her shaky recording of Mom's voice. It was a damn sledgehammer. Leave Jack, Sarah. He's better off. I played it over and over, Mom's words cold as ice. She hadn't just chased Sarah off. She'd pruned my life like a tree, keeping me ripe for picking. Also, I'd stay the family cash cow. I met Tara at her office, a cramped little spot downtown with a view of a brick wall. Dumped the folder on her desk. Holy hell, Jack, she said, flipping through it. Your mom's a puppet master. This isn't just defense, it's a knockout punch. She tapped the recording. We've got intent, manipulation, ties it all to the money. They're toast. I nodded, feeling something shift. Good. Let's hit him hard. Tara grinned like a kid on Christmas. Oh, we will. Court's in 3 weeks, plenty of time to build an airtight case. Next few days, I turned into a one-man detective. Dug through every old message, every call log, piecing it together. Found a text from Mom, 2 days after Sarah left. Jackie, you're better off focusing on work now. Love's a distraction. Another from Lisa, a month after the app sold. Mom says you're a rock now, don't let us down. Even Dad, rare as he texted, had one. Proud of you, son. Keep us afloat. Every word a hook, reeling me in. I printed it all, handed it to Tara. She whistled. They're like vultures, organized ones. By Friday, word spread. Pete called, said he'd heard from a buddy at the bar. Lisa was mouthing off about teaching me a lesson with the lawsuit. Uncle Ray was telling his golf crew I'd lost my damn mind. Mom was playing victim, crying to her church group about her ungrateful boy. Social media lit up. Lisa posted a pic of her and Josh. Caption, real family sticks together, no matter what. Subtle as a brick. I didn't bite, just kept my head down, stacking ammo. Saturday, I hit Hulls Gulch again. Needed the air, the quiet. Hiked till my boots were caked in dust, sat on that same rock, and thought about Sarah. She'd been my shot, funny, tough, the kind of woman who'd call me out but stick around. Mom saw her as a threat, not to me, but to the gravy train. Up there, wind whipping past, I didn't feel mad anymore, just tired. Tired of being their pawn. Tired of pretending it'd ever change. Monday, Tara called me in. They're pushing for mediation, she said, leaning back in her chair. Want to settle out of court, $500,000. You walk away, they drop the suit. I laughed, sharp and short. They think I'll cave. Tara shrugged. They're scared. Court's a gamble. They've got no legs to stand on. This is them blinking. I shook my head. No deal. Let's take it to the end. She nodded. Knew you'd say that. We're ready. That night, Pete came over with a six-pack. We sat on my porch, stars popping out over the foothills. You sure about this, man? He asked, popping a cap. They're your blood. I took a long pull, let it settle. Blood don't mean squat when it's just a leash. They're not family. They're a business, and I'm the payroll. I'm done clocking in. Pete clinked his bottle against mine. Then let's shut him down. Wednesday, I got a curveball. Sarah texted. Meet me at the park, 6 o'clock. Got something else. Showed up, found her on a bench by the river, hands in her jacket. She didn't waste time. Lisa called me yesterday, she said. Tried to get me to talk you down. Offered me $10,000 to fix this. Said you'd listen to me. I stared jaw tight. She bribed you. Sarah nodded. Yeah, told her to shove it. But it's more. Your mom was on the call, too. They're desperate, Jack. Falling apart. She pulled out her phone, played a voicemail Lisa left after. Sarah, you owe us. Jack's a mess because of you. Take the money. Make him see sense. Mom's voice chimed in, faint but clear. We're losing everything, Sarah. Help us. I listened, fists clenched. They're sinking, Sarah said, pocketing the phone. Thought you should know. I nodded slow. Thanks. You didn't have to, she cut me off. Yeah, I did. I ran once. Not again. Thursday, Tara got the recording from Sarah, legal, since Idaho's one-party consent. This is dynamite, she said, grinning ear to ear. Bribery, coercion, adds a criminal edge. We're not just winning, Jack, we're crushing him. I felt a spark, not joy but power. For once, I wasn't the one bending. Friday night, I sat alone, going over it all. The lawsuit, the lies, the years I'd lost trying to buy their love. I'd been a ghost, then a bank, now a target. But I wasn't alone. Pete, Sarah, Tara, they had my back. Court was close, and I was ready to swing. They'd pushed me too far, and I wasn't breaking. Not this time. Court day crept up fast. Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. Woke up at 5 o'clock, sky still dark, nerves buzzing like a bad wire. Showered, threw on a button-up and jeans. Nothing fancy, just me. Tara met me outside the courthouse, a squat brick building downtown. You ready? She asked, briefcase swinging. Yeah, I said, though my stomach said otherwise. Let's finish this. Inside, the room smelled like old wood and tension. My family was already there, Lisa glaring, Mom dabbing her eyes with a tissue, Dad stone-faced, Uncle Ray slouched like he was bored. Their lawyer, Hensley, stood tall in a slick suit, whispering to them. Tara nudged me. They're putting on a show, don't buy it. I nodded, sat down, kept my eyes forward. Judge was a gray-haired guy named Carver, looked like he'd seen every sob story twice. Hensley went first, laying it on thick. Jack Tanner's sudden withdrawal of financial support has devastated this family, he said, voice smooth as oil. For years, he willingly provided dinners, loans, emergencies, then abandoned them without warning, causing emotional and material harm. We seek $1.8 million to right this wrong. Lisa sniffled on cue. Mom let out a little sob. Ray coughed, dramatic as hell. I clenched my jaw, kept still. Tara stood up, cool as ice. Your Honor, this isn't a family, it's a racket. Jack Tanner's been extorted by his own kin for 3 years, $187,000 worth. They didn't care about him till he sold his app. Then he became their piggy bank. When he said no, they sued. That's not distress. That's entitlement. She dropped my list on the table, 3 pages, crisp and damning. Every dime documented. They've got no claim, just greed. Hensley countered, waving a hand. Mr. Tanner chose to give. He can't cry foul now. Tara didn't blink. He gave under pressure guilt trips, tantrums, tears. That's coercion, not choice. She played Lisa's voicemail. You're my golden goose, Jack. Don't fly away. Gasps rippled through the room. Lisa went red, shrank in her seat. Tara kept going. They've got jobs, homes, lives. They just like Jack's money better. Then came Sarah's recording. Mom's voice cut through. Leave Jack, Sarah. He's better off. Followed by Lisa's bribe. Take the $10,000, make him see sense. The judge's eyebrows shot up. Hensley stammered. Objection. Relevance. Carver shut him down. Overruled. I'll hear it all. Tara turned to me, small nod. I felt it. We were winning. I took the stand next. Kept it simple. They ignored me till I had cash, I said, voice steady. Then it was Jack. Pay this, Jack. Fix that. I thought if I gave enough, they'd care. They didn't. Just took more. When I stopped, they sued. That's not family. That's a shakedown. Carver listened, pen-scratching notes. Hensley grilled me. You never said no before? Why now? I looked him dead on. Because I finally saw they'd never say thanks. Lisa went up, all tears and tremble. Jack's my brother. He's supposed to help. I'm broke, stressed. He doesn't care. Tara crossed her. You spent $12,000 of his money in Vegas. Did you thank him? Lisa froze. I meant to. Tara held up her phone. No texts, no calls. Sure you did. Mom was next, clutching her tissue. Jackie's changed. He's cold now. Tara didn't flinch. Did you tell Sarah to leave him? Mom's eyes widened. I thought it was best. The recording played again. Her face crumpled. Dad just grunted his piece. He owes us. Raised him. Fed him. Tara shot back. He paid your mortgage 5 times. Call it even? Ray swaggered up, smirking. Kid's got millions. What's a few bucks to us? Tara dropped his boat receipt. $25,000. My name on it. That's not a few bucks. His smirk died fast. By the end, they looked small, deflated, like kids caught stealing cookies, not grown-ups with a lawyer. Court broke for lunch. Pete met me outside, clapped my shoulder. You're killing it, man. Sarah was there too, quiet but solid. They're crumbling, she said. I nodded, ate a burger from a food truck, watched the clouds roll by. Felt good, not great, still hurt seeing them up there, lying to my face. Afternoon session was quick. Tara wrapped it. Jack's not their ATM. They've got no right to his money or his life. Hensley floundered, repeating family duty till it sounded hollow. Carver called it, ruling tomorrow. I left, head high, Tara grinning. We've got this, she said. I believed her. That night, I crashed hard, but not before a text from Sarah, proud of you. Replied, thanks for sticking. Slept like a rock, dreaming of nothing, just black, peaceful nothing. Wednesday morning, we were back. Carver didn't waste time. This court finds no basis for the plaintiff's claim, he said, voice gravelly. Mr. Tanner owes no legal duty to fund his family's lifestyle. Case dismissed. Bang went the gavel. Hensley's shoulders slumped. Lisa bolted out, Mom wailed. Dad stared at the floor. Ray muttered something I didn't catch. I just sat there, breathing slow. It was over. Tara hugged me. Told you, crushed him. Pete hooped in the hall. Sarah squeezed my arm, said nothing, just stayed. We walked out into the sun, air crisp and clean. I'd won, but it didn't feel like a party. Felt like a door slamming shut when I'd held open too long. The courthouse steps felt like the edge of a cliff that Wednesday afternoon. Case dismissed, family shut down, $1.8 million off the table, I'd won. But walking out with Tara, Pete, and Sarah, I didn't feel like popping champagne. Felt more like I just buried something heavy and walked away clean. Sun was high, Boise humming around me, and for the first time in years, I didn't owe anybody a damn thing. Next few days were dead quiet. No calls, no texts, no Jack, we're sorry, or Jack, you're a bastard. Radio silence. I'd figured they'd come at me, Lisa with tears, Mom with guilt, Ray with threats. Nothing. Guess they knew the game was up. Tara called Friday, said their lawyer dropped them. Hensley wouldn't touch the appeal with a 10-foot pole. You're free and clear, she said. I thanked her, sent her a bonus check. She'd earned it. Saturday, I drove out to Hull's Gulch, boots on, no phone, just me and the dirt. Hiked slow, let the sagebrush smell fill my lungs. Up on that rock, I sat and thought about what I'd lost. Not the money, $187,000 was a chunk, but I'd make it back. It was the idea of them, family, the people I'd grown up with, fought for, tried to please. They were gone now, not because I'd cut them off, but because they'd never been there. I'd been chasing shadows, tossing cash at him to make him real. Didn't work. Never would. Back home, I cleaned house, literal and not. Tossed old photos, Mom's birthday cards, Lisa's thanks, bro, notes from when I bailed her out. Kept one picture, me and Dad fishing when I was 10, before he turned quiet and hard. Rest went in the trash. Felt right, shedding that weight. Sunday, Pete swung by with his kid, little Mikey, 6 years old, all energy. We grilled burgers, played catch in the yard. You're good, man, Pete said, watching Mikey chase a ball. Better than I've seen you. I nodded. Getting there. Monday, I started something new. Signed up for a woodworking class at the community center, nothing big, just a chance to make a chair or a shelf with my hands. First night, I met a guy named Cal, retired trucker, rough voice, quick laugh. We got to talking over sawdust and beer. What's your story? He asked, sanding a plank. Used to pay for everybody's life, I said. Quit that job. He chuckled. Good move. But don't ask for handouts. We hit it off, simple, no strings. Felt like a start. Sarah came around more, too. Not pushing, not pulling, just there. Wednesday, she showed up with a pizza, plopped on my couch like old times. You're different, she said, slicing a pepperoni. Lighter. I shrugged. Had to drop some baggage. She smiled, small but real. Looks good on you. We ate, watched some dumb action flick, laughed at the explosions. No labels, no rush, just easy. I like that. Week after the ruling, I got a letter, handwritten, Mom's shaky cursive. No apology, just a ramble. You broke us, Jack. We gave you everything, and you threw it away. Hope you're happy. I read it once, felt a twinge, then tossed it in the fire pit out back. Lit it up, watched the flames eat her words. Didn't hate her, just didn't need her anymore. That night, I slept deep, no dreams, just quiet. Month later, I sold the apartment, too big, too loud with old ghosts. Bought a little place out near Eagle, 2 bedrooms, porch, view of the hills. No fancy stuff, just space to breathe. Set up a workshop in the garage, started carving a table from pine Cal gave me. Days got simple. Work on the landscaping biz, evenings with wood, weekends with Pete or Sarah or Cal. Phone stayed quiet, and I liked it that way. One Sunday, I was out back, sanding that table, when Sarah rolled up. Nice spot, she said, hopping out with a 6-pack. We sat on the porch, beer sweating in the heat, watching the sun dip low. You miss M? She asked, voice soft. I thought about it, really thought. Nah, I said. Missed who I wanted them to be. Never had that to lose. She nodded, took a sip. You've got this now. She meant the house, the quiet, the life. Yeah, I said. I do. Winter came, and I kept building tables, chairs, a life that fit. Cal and I started a side gig, selling pieces at the farmer's market. Pete's wife, Jen, roped me into coaching Mikey's soccer team, bunch of wild kids, but I liked the chaos. Sarah stuck around, steady as a heartbeat. We didn't call it love, not yet, just built something real, one day at a time. Last week, I saw Lisa at the gas station, first time since court. She looked tired, thinner, pumping gas into that Jeep I'd paid off once. She saw me, froze, then turned away. Didn't say a word. I didn't either. Filled my tank, drove off, didn't look back. That was it, the last thread, cut clean. No, I'm just Jack. Not the bank, not the ghost, not the fool. Got a table I made myself, a porch with a view, people who stay because they want to. Sometimes I catch myself waiting for the old ache, guilt, loneliness, whatever. It don't come. Took 35 years, a lawsuit, and a hell of a fight, but I found my ground. Ain't perfect. Some days I still wonder if I could have fixed them. Then I look at the hills, hear the wind, feel the weight gone, and I know. I fixed me. That's enough.